Hi, I'm Akinwumi Taiwo, the CEO of Grace Edu Consult. Today I want to tell the story of Grace, of our business, Grace Edu Consult, from the beginning to the end. And it's going to be amazing because it's a story of how God took us from grass to grace, how God changed disappointment into destiny appointment. It's really going to touch your heart and it will position you for destiny expert. Thank you so much. Join me. Wow. It's amazing to come to a day like this. It's a day that God has actually made. And it's a story being told, is a legacy being made for future generation. The story of Grace Edu Consult is nothing short of grace, actually. Because we find no other name that can capture the fullness of what God is doing in Grace Edu Consult in Kwara State, Ibadan, and over the whole world than Grace. And the best picture of it, looking at the way it all started about 12 years ago till now, is best captured by what we see in the formation of pearls. Pearls are perhaps one of the most precious gems on earth because they are natural, they're not man-made. And when I got to understand how pearls are made, that pearls are formed from irritants. Pearls are grace personified. Pearls are product of divine transformation. It's a response to an irritation inside oyster shell. That story has hooked me, and I could find no other story that can capture our own story than that of pearls. That an oyster inside a water gets violated by jam, by dirt, by some form of irritants inside the shell, and the shell naturally start to produce things like aragonite and cochiolin. And these two materials, in a way to defend oyster from that violation, over time thickens and hardens to form nacre. And that nacre is the mother of pearl. So the pearl that we now see today that is very costly, very expensive, very priced, very wonderful, appreciated around the whole world, is a product of violation, is a product of irritation, is a product of a torment that came to an oyster. Like nothing can be so amazing to describe how grace works. That grace is like a pasture found in the deepest of the valley. Grace is so amazing that it's God bringing out a story from our own mess. And that captures the origin of Grace Edu Consult. It captures what we are doing now. It captures what God has committed into our hands over the time. Officially, Grace Edu Consult started 2020. So this is about 4 years now. The mandate came around 2008, about 17 years ago. And looking back, I can see God in all of the story, in all of the details of the story. Like God was in the center of it all. In 2008, I was applying as an SSW student to LAUTECH to study medicine. My first choice was medicine. Second choice was medicine. It's either medicine or nothing. So like, I was literally into medicine then, and obviously people think because you are intelligent, far back that time, you must just study medicine. And that's a big lesson for us today, that our children are actually intelligent does not mean that they must study medicine or some high-sounding courses. We need to listen to God and know what God is patterning their life today. So that time I was pursuing medicine. I did pedigree LAUTECH. I got the cutoff for medicine. I was not picked. So I was in the middle of that frustration. I was running here, running there. Then also I recall at that time too, I did JAMB too alongside pedigree. So in my JAMB too, I had a very high score in JAMB. I had about 280 something in my JAMB. In my post JAMB too, I had very high score. So I felt they should have given me medicine either for my pedigree score or for my JAMB score. But to my surprise, I was not given in pedigree. So I was looking around, I was searching around. In fact, I went to the admission officer and I was claiming for my rights. I said, no, like I should be given medicine, this and that. The man said that he's sorry, the whole slot is not available again. I was like, but I had 380 something. He said 280 something. I said, no, sir. I said 283. I said 383. So he took my slip and he said 383. I said, how come? He said, we are sorry, there's no medicine, this and this and this. Just do that, just do this. I said, no, I just medicine. So he said, just pick any course you want, pick any course you want. I said, okay, any course I want. Because it was a blank check and I was not thinking, I had not thought about any other course in my life other than medicine. So at that point, what flashed in my mind was anatomy. So I said, anatomy. So then I said, medicine. He said, medicine. He said, if you don't tell me what you want now, I will give you fine arts. I will give you fine arts now. I said, sir, it's medicine. I saw some other students that came to beg for admission. They were putting their hands on their hands and said, hey, this is a great opportunity. I said, sir, it's medicine. I said, it's medicine. He said, no, tell me what you want now, or I will choose out of my mouth. He said, sir, please, it's medicine. So at that moment, just had to just agree with anatomy. I said, anatomy. Like, without thinking, out of the blues, that was how he wrote anatomy on my sleeve, and he said, go and check your porter back. After some days, I went back to the same porter that was rejecting me, and I saw, you are admitted to study human anatomy. So I was happy. I started it, but I was still like, no, I will still go back to study medicine, because if I could get a very high score in my 100 level, I will be able to cross to medicine. So I ensured that I worked, I read, and I had 4.42 out of 4.5 that should make a first class. So I had 4.42, and that was top in my department that time. So I felt, with this grade, I should be able to get medicine. So I left everything I was doing and I moved straight into medicine. I was in medicine department for about 2 months. I was studying with medical people. Like, I joined my friend, said, since God has said it's medicine, it must just be medicine. So I left anatomy in 200 level and I joined myself with medicine without being admitted into medicine, but because I believe that my CGPA should be able to qualify me to study medicine. So I joined medicine 200 level. I was doing that with them while I was waiting for the crossing form to be out. So after several months, they released crossing form. I came to the form filling my CGPA with all boldness, because I saw that other people that wanted to cross to medicine with me too, they were not having up to my CGPA. Some of them had like 3.8, 3.7. So I felt, my own was way higher. They should be able to consider me first. So to my surprise, the list was released and I didn't see my name there. Out of about 20, 30, 40 names that was released at first, I didn't see my name there. Now, the most amazing thing was that the other students that were given medicine, that saw me join them already in 200 level, they were so more fascinated by me. They even went there. They said, pastor's name must be there. He must be given medicine. He must be our, he must just be there. And my covenant friend, who is a doctor now, Dr. Baba from Shoaide, like, he was there with me. We were praying together, trusting God together that God must give us medicine. God had promised us it had to be medicine and medicine. So he too went ahead there and they didn't see my name. It was so much devastating. So I felt God feed me. I felt this is a big disappointment, because each time I passed through my department, my mate there would come and say, Pastor, come back to class. Come and join anatomy. I said, no, God has told me it's medicine. So I left anatomy and I faced medicine. Even when I had not been given the crossing for my, I was just so sure God had spoken. So I felt this is not just going to be so that there will be the second batch. So I waited for the second batch again. I was waiting, trusting God again. It was with Dr. Olade Potolani. She's a doctor too now. We were praying together. She too was trusting God for crossing, and she had that crossing. So after the whole crossing episode came and went, I was not given medicine. I was like, could this be possible? About 30, 40 people that crossed over, and my name was not there. Like, no, this is not possible. So I was angered. I felt bitter against God. I felt, as it were, that I was disappointed by God. So I was just going around. I was fasting, praying. Like, at that moment, somebody saw me like and said, sir, why are you looking like a persecuted soldier? Because indeed I felt persecuted. I felt God had abandoned me. I felt it was just all over for me career-wise. I felt there would not be any other thing that would be worthwhile on earth other than studying medicine. So it was at that moment that I was making a call. I think I was calling somebody on this same medicine, asking them to see if they could help me contact somebody. As I was calling the person, he was picking my call, and it was just opposite 1200 Letter Theatre. I was in Chemical Shed. I was calling in Chemical Shed. It was just opposite 1200 Letter Theatre. And as I was calling him, he wasn't hearing my voice. I was shouting on the phone, sir, sir, sir. Then I lifted up my voice and I saw him. He was just across the lawn. And right there, the Lord spoke to me that I've been speaking to you. You have not been hearing me. I've been calling out to you, but your ears have been deaf. That incident was so much electrifying that no, the person I was calling on the phone was just across the lawn and I was shouting. Then I felt, wow, could it be the same picture of my life at a time like this? So I calmed down and I began to submit my life to God. I said, God, anything you want, I will do it. So then God spoke to me and God said, you will not be a medical doctor, but you will raise several doctors and several nurses for me. That was shock. Several doctors, several nurses. Said, wow, thank God I'm studying anatomy. Probably I will be an anatomy lecturer, and probably one day I'll be lecturing anatomy, and then I will have doctors, I will have nurses, and then I will be raising them for Christ. So I was happy because of that. I was like, oh God, it's just medicine and just medicine. So medicine was out. It was not about becoming anatomy lecturer. So I pursued anatomy and I ensured that I finished with 2-1. Now, to the amazement and to the faithfulness of God, I ran back to my department just the week that they were starting the exam for that semester. I didn't attend any lecture throughout. And I was amazed that having not attended any lecture, I still hit all of my courses with A's and B's. Like, it was so much surprising to me. That showed that God had an intention for my anatomy. So I went back, settled with anatomy, and I was doing fine. So after first degree, I went again for masters. I was so much keen on, okay, let me have my masters anatomy. Probably with that, of course, I will be able to lecture anatomy. But God was bigger than my thoughts. God was higher than my wildest imagination. God had gone ahead of my life with all of those things, and He was working out something. Like, He was seriously working out something that was so amazing for me. So after everything was said and done, the whole of episode of MSc came. I did MS anatomy. I had a good grade. I had distinction there. But upon that or two, I was like, lecturing wasn't coming first. So I made God. But you taught me masters. Then I recall several years ago, God had told me that you're going to learning is not for masters. It's for the master. That shocked me. That God, does that mean that you're not still about my masters again? It's still about you again? So I felt God was just being selfish in my heart. But I'd learned already to depend on Him. I learned that God's will surpasses human's will. I learned that His plan is far higher and deeper than our plans. So what I just did was that I said, well, God, anything you want, I will do. So I settled down, I relinquished, I submitted to God. I said, God, anything you want, just have your way. Either it's masters or you as my master. Since it's not for masters, then it's for you, my master. So I accepted it and I released my heart to it. So several things played out and Grace Edu Consult started. Then one day I was in the class and I saw several students sitting before me. In that class, there were engineers, there were people from different walks of life, there were doctors, nurses, and above all, there was a professor in the field of medicine sitting in the class. And right there, just like an epiphany, like a flash of light, it just dawned on me that this is what God told me several years ago. Like, that was playing out about 12 years ago from 2008 when God said, you'll be raising doctors and nurses for me. Right there, I saw that, wow, this is exactly what God said. This is a professor in the field of medicine. These are nurses, these are doctors. And looking back that time, several of them had been around my life. I've been intentionally raising them in line with their career, in line with fulfillment, in line with purpose. So I was like, is this how God speaks and things come to pass? Like, it was a series of zigzag destiny movements. It looked so much unpredictable. It looked unbelievable. It looked unrealistic. But it played right out in my face perfectly. No. God is a master planner. No wonder Joel Austin said, God is a master architect. If He has ability to create a universe as intricate as ours, see this water, see this amazing water, see the view of this water, see those birds, see See those living on this, perching on this river. If God has the ability to create such an amazing and intricate universe as this, He surely has a plan for your life. He surely has a plan for me. He has a plan for you. So this is the story of Grace Edu Consult. This is like our untold stories that most people don't know about us. That for Grace Edu Consult, it's not just about making money. It's about making lives. For Grace Edu Consult, it's not just about, let us fit facts from opportunity. No, it's about, let us see how God can help us to push men to their destiny while we are also fulfilling our destiny. It's about you winning and we winning. It's about a story of grace. It's about God using us to strategically position people, both nurses, both doctors, people from different fields of life. It's about God using us to help them find a bearing for their life, for their future. And that's really, really amazing. I hope you have been blessed by our story. Thank you so much. Bye.